Hello creepy people and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to finally be doing the December 2020 horror pack unboxing. But before we do that, this one is going to be a little bit on the longer side because we have quite a few movies that in the past 2 months that I wanted to give some kind of honorable mentions and reviews on. So if you guys do not care about the reviews and you just want to see the unboxing of the new movies, skip to this part in the video if you just want to see the new unboxing. But for those of you who have been curious about the past couple of months movies that we have gotten, let's go ahead and run through them and kind of give my little reviews on them. So the very first movie that I want to talk about, I believe this is from like the October horror pack unboxing, and this is probably like the weirdest movie I have ever seen, and that was this one right here, which is Dead Dicks. So right off the bat you can tell that this movie was obviously going to be very different, very strange. I did give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. A little bit of like a trigger warning before we get into it. This movie does have talks and scenes of suicide and taking your own life and death and things like that. So if that is something that is very triggering to you, I would not recommend watching this movie. But the whole premise of this movie is the guy right here, his name is Richie in the movie. He keeps killing himself because, you know, he's done with life. He keeps taking his own life. But the weird thing is he keeps coming back reborn. I can't believe this is gonna come out of my mouth. He keeps coming back reborn into his life through a giant vagina is on his bedroom wall. So he'll kill himself, he'll die, he'll come through this giant vagina in his bedroom reborn, and he's there again. But all of the dead bodies of himself are still around in the apartment, okay? So I wasn't kidding you guys. This movie is fucking strange, okay? It's out of this world weird. The one thing that I will say about this movie is the actor that plays Richie, I don't know if it's Matt Keys, I'm not 100% sure. He was a fabulous actor. I really hope that he does more things in the future because he was really good. He was really captivating. His character was very believable. He was a really good actor, so I did really appreciate that. Another really kind of cool thing is because obviously like this is a movie about suicide, so it is kind of sad, but it did have some like comedic parts in it. So, I mean, you know, you would kind of be like, oh my god, he just killed himself, but then like something funny would happen and you would laugh. So I'm really glad that they did kind of include those like comedic parts in it. It is a very artsy movie, so if you're someone who's into that kind of like, you know, Sundance film, kind of like just out of the box, crazy, artsy ideas, then this would be a really good movie for you. I also feel like it has a very deep meaning to this movie as well. Like what I got from it, like what I interpreted from this movie is that live the life that you were given, and taking it won't necessarily end your life. You know, other people around you have to continuously suffer with that for the rest of their life, so it's best just take the life that you were given and make the most out of it. I'm sure many people have different interpretations when they watch this movie, but that is the one thing that I did get from it, is that it was kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's kind of funny. Ooh, there's a deep meaning there. So, I mean, it kind of like got your mind running the whole time you're watching it. The one thing I didn't like is the ending didn't really wrap up very well. I still had a lot of unanswered questions, but I mean, all in all, it wasn't a bad movie. I didn't have much hope for this when I first watched it, but it really wasn't all that bad. Next movie that I want to review is the Horror Pack Limited Edition, and this one was also from the October 2020 unboxing, and this is the Horror Pack Limited Edition movie, The Barn. I also gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. The one thing that I will say about this movie is it is literally the perfect Halloween story. It has a very kind of cool storyline. It has a very like Halloween-y type vibe. I'm definitely going to be keeping this one to watch during like the Halloween season because just the overall concept of it is just perfect for Halloween. 2 little notes that I knew I wanted to mention in this video is that the score Like, the music that they used throughout the movie was absolutely epic. It really kind of built up your adrenaline. It really kind of kept you interested. Like, the score was awesome. And the other thing that I would love to see more of is the special effects makeup. I don't know who did it in this movie, but whoever did do the special effects makeup did such a phenomenal job. It was very, very cool. The demon characters that were in this movie were also very cool. It has a very unique storyline. It kind of starts off in like the 50s and 60s, and then it jumps to like the present day time in 1989, and the storyline kept up very well. Like, there wasn't any weird random parts that didn't need to be in there. Like, every scene that was in this movie made a lot of sense, and it just meshed really, really well together. So this one was actually really good. In Horror Pack limited editions, for me personally, are very kind of hit or miss. Like, sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. The next Horror Pack limited edition movie that I wanted to mention and talk about was this one, and this one was called Bloodline, and I actually gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. This one, again, was another really good one. I think this was from the November 2020 unboxing. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive this was from the November one. It's about a character in this movie by the name of Brett, who is going to seminary school to kind of start his journey in becoming a priest. But as with most people becoming a priest, he kind of starts to have second thoughts about his faith, and if he really wants to do this, and if he really does believe enough to become a priest. He decides to kind of take his mind off everything and just kind of think things over by taking his friends to a family cabin that belonged to Brett's, I believe it was grandpa or uncle, I can't really remember off the top of my head, but basically they just kind of have like a little getaway together in the woods in a cabin, just to kind of hang out, drink, party, and just for him to kind of like escape everything that he's dealing with up here. Supposed to be a nice relaxing getaway, turned out to be a nightmare, as you can imagine. So basically there is this curse that is in the cabin and kind of around the area, and basically it is a demonic spirits that starts to possess each person one by one. A little necklace that Brett wears around his neck I feel like was almost like a conduit. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I feel it was kind of like a little capsule of where all these evil spirits were kept, and once they got to the cabin and they kind of like released themselves. Basically throughout the movie, as each of his friends start getting possessed and dying, Brett kind of turns again to his faith. He ends up kind of ending the curse and saving one of the girls that he has a crush on. Her name is Katie. Towards the end of the movie, you know, the cops show up. I don't know how they showed up because I don't think anyone called 911 in the movie, but the cops show up towards the end of the movie. One of the cops finds this little necklace slash pendant, which I'm pretty sure is a conduit, where when, you know, he saved his friend, all of those evil demonic spirits ended up back in the necklace, and the cop finds the necklace and it kind of like starts all over again. So that's kind of how the movie ends, is basically like, you know, the cop is possessed now and it's like, oh great, here we go again kind of thing. But all in all, I think this was a really, really good movie. The demonic spirits, like the whole Skrillexa lenses, I think that's how you say that, Skrillexa lenses, I'm not really sure, where like their whole eye goes black. I mean, that's always very creepy. So I like the way that they did the kind of demonic characters. I thought that was very cool. It was just a very entertaining movie. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the actors were really good and some of them weren't. Like, it just kind of had that like Horror Pack limited edition feel to it. Like, you can tell it wasn't like a huge, big budget, like box office movie, you know what I mean? But all in all, it was really good and I really appreciated it. The next movie that I have in here is one that I have seen before, and I was really excited when we got it in the Horror Pack because I finally got to own it, and that was the movie Lights Out. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, when I first saw this movie, I didn't really like it all that much, or it was just okay. So when I watched it again the second time, I actually really liked the movie. I thought it was really, really good. Basically, it is about kind of like this broken family where the dad passes away, becomes very, very depressed, and there's basically like this mystery woman that the children think are like this nightmare figure named Diana, but it's actually a very close old friend of the mother's. She can only be seen when the lights are turned off because she has like this skin condition where every time the light hits her skin, it basically is like, you know, a vampire type thing. It'll start to like disintegrate or whatnot. One thing about Diana is she only tends to come around when times are really, really hard in the family. Mom is trapped. Like, she knew Diana when she was a little girl, and then as she grew up, she never really went away, and the mom is almost kind of trapped with this, like, whenever things go wrong, Diana just kind of comes around and starts to torment the entire family. The one thing I will say is it was kind of predictable at times, but it did have like a really good scare. It was very entertaining, even though like when you knew there was going to be a jump scare coming, it was still really good and I still really, really liked it. The ending of this movie was honestly kind of sad, but it was also very unexpected and kind of exciting. But basically the mom risks her life to kind of save her children from being tormented by this Diana character for the rest of their life. This very, I don't want to say predictable ending, but I don't know, it was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense kind of ending. And as always, as with most horror movies very similar to this, the cops always show up at the end, always last minute. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's almost like they never show up when things are going down. They always show up after the fact. Like they're like, oh, we got a priority 1 call, but we're just gonna chill here till it's over. We're just gonna chill here. I feel like that's what always fucking happens. Like, same with, The Orphan or The Ring. Like, the cops always show up at the last fucking minute. Or what's that one movie? Hush. Again, the cops show up at the last minute. What is up with that? I want to see one movie where the cops actually show up in the middle of shit going down. Am I right? Don't you want to see that too? The last movie that I wanted to save for the final review is the best for last, and that is the movie Flatliners. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. This movie was absolutely phenomenal. It was so good. I did not know this, but this is actually a remake of the 1990 original movie with Kiefer Sutherland, and I totally didn't know that. It was absolutely nuts to me. And another really cool thing is Kiefer Sutherland actually makes an appearance in this movie. He plays like one of the head doctors in this movie, which is so cool to me. So, and I feel like after seeing this one, it made me want to see the original movie even more. I still need to watch the original, but this one was so incredibly good. I can only imagine how phenomenal the original one is. This movie is about a girl named Courtney, which is Ellen Page, or now Elliot Page. And basically she loses her younger sister in a car accident. And ever since then, Courtney has kind of always been fascinated in the afterlife. Like, what happens? Where do you go? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Where is my sister? I want to know how she's doing. Her and a group of her 4 other resident doctor friends all kind of come up with the experiment, the brain's activity after you die. So after your heart stops and you're officially pronounced dead, they want to know, where does the brain go? What activity happens in the brain after you pass away? So that's kind of the study that they hold. Now, this was not like a monitored study. This was something that they did in like the basement hospital that no one knew about. That was that probably would get them fired, honestly, if this were like a real scenario, let's be honest. Another interesting thing is each time each of the characters dies as they're studying their brain activity, each person sees a particular thing or a particular life event in their flatlines. So, and each time they come back, like after they revive them, that's another thing, is like they don't kill them and leave them dead. Like they bring them back with like a bunch of epi and compressions and whatnot, which that's scary, okay? Like, could you imagine, like, okay, you're gonna kill me, and then after like a couple minutes, you're gonna bring me back, okay? Like, fuck that shit. It's interesting because each time they do get revived, it's almost like the first couple of days, they come back, and it's almost like their body is reset, or it's almost like their body is like revitalized or, recharged, so they feel really, really good after the first couple of days of coming back. And after a while, these really weird, strange things start happening to them. So what they saw in their flat lines as they were, dead, basically they start to see those things, and their past sins kind of come back and wreak havoc on them and just cause a lot of mental torture. And basically they kind of need to come to terms with their past, and they need to learn to forgive themselves to like make amends with everything. You know what I mean? So it does kind of have like a life lesson where if you make a mistake or you have a past and that you're kind of ashamed about it and you kind of bury it really down deep, it's best to just kind of accept it, talk about it, make amends with it. It kind of has like that meaning along to it, but overall this movie was so good and it was really, really scary. So highly recommend recommend you guys watch this. Really good. I do really want to see the original, so hopefully I can find it and watch it because it just sounds really, really good. So those were all of the movies that I had that I wanted to mention for you guys from the past 2 months. Now we are going to move on to the December 2020 unboxing. Again, if you guys do not know what Horror Pack is a horror movie subscription service where every single month you get 4 new DVD and or Blu-rays, and they are all horror movie genre related, and you have no idea what you're gonna get. It's basically all a surprise. You also always get 1 Horror Pack limited edition Blu-ray or DVD in your pack, and then sometimes you get movies that you never heard of, sometimes you get movies that you've seen a million times, but overall it's a really, really great service. If you guys are interested in checking them out, I will have a link right at the top of the description box. Don't worry, it's not an affiliate link. I'm not making any money off of your clicks, but if you guys are interested in checking out the site and maybe interested in seeing if it is something that you would be into, then that link is just there for easy access. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh my gosh, I have literally had this sitting here for so long, but I haven't gotten around to it because I've been so busy and I had a lot of movies to watch and review for you guys. So hopefully after, like, when I unbox these movies, I can watch them and then review them in January like I used to do, so that way they're not super long videos like this. Oh my lord. Okay, time for the scissors. Hey guys, so as you can see inside, we have 4 new Blu-rays in here, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So again, I'm gonna take out of the very middle this time because we've been having really good luck with the middle. So we're gonna start with the middle. And the very first one is a Horror Pack limited edition, and this is a Cadaver Christmas. So this is the December Horror Pack, so there might be a lot of holiday themed movies in here, but the first one is the Horror Pack limited edition, a Cadaver Christmas. Again, the one thing I really like about the Horror Pack limited editions is the cover art is always very cool and interesting to look at. I really like it. The back of the movie also looks really, really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what it says on the back. So it says, when a dark force takes over the morgue during the Christmas holiday, a ragtag band of heroes has to save humanity from the from the growing army of Walking Dead. Okay, so this one actually sounds really good, and Fangoria says, a Cadaver Christmas delivers dark holiday laughs. So this one actually sounds really good. Next, I'm gonna take off of the very middle again, and the second movie that we got for December 2020 is The Conjuring 2. Okay, so I think last month we got the first Conjuring, and now we have the second one on Blu-ray. I do actually already own this one, of course, but again, my sister will be absolutely thrilled about this because I don't think she owns this one yet. This movie is so good. So obviously the first Conjuring is the best one, but this one, holy shit, it is absolutely terrifying. Like, I think I actually went and saw this in theaters, I'm pretty sure. Scared the shit out of me. Fabulous movie. It ties in with the first Conjuring pretty okay. I think this is, I don't know if this is a prequel. I'm sure a lot of you watching this video have seen this movie. Let me know in the comments. Do you like the first Conjuring or the second Conjuring more? I'm curious to know. 2 movies left in the Horror Pack, so let's take the one off of the very top, and this one is, what the heck is this? Shut up. Shut up. I literally watched this movie a few weeks ago, and this movie was fucking terrifying, and that is the movie Z. At first I couldn't really tell what the hell the name of it was. I just saw this and then I was like, what is this? But this is the movie Z. Holy shit, this movie scared the shit out of me. So I actually watched it for the first time on Shudder. I watched it with my boyfriend and we were so entertained by this movie. It's really, really good. So I can't wait to watch it again. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I am gonna read what it says on the back. On the back it says, when Beth's son brings home an imaginary friend named Z, she becomes concerned that he is falling too deep into a world of make-believe. He starts to display extremely destructive behavior, blaming Z for all of his actions. But after he gets kicked out of school, Beth is forced to find a solution. She medicates her son, making him unable to see his imaginary companion. But now Beth sees Z and he wants to be her friend. Oh my gosh, this movie is so cool. My boyfriend's gonna be so excited when I tell him I got this movie in the horror pack. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to own this. Okay, really excited about that one. So let's see if the last movie in the December 2020 horror pack is just as good. And that one is Mother Krampus. Oh, what? I've never even heard of this. Naughty list just got deadly. Okay, so I think it was maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, we got Krampus. So the fact that they included this one in this year's really excites me. Absolutely love the Krampus movie. I know a lot of people were kind of like about it, but me personally, I really liked Krampus, so I'm really curious to see this one. That comes on the 12 days of Christmas, taking children each night. Oh my gosh, I have a feeling this is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Guys, so that is everything that we got in the December 2020 horror pack. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. Are you just as excited as I am? Let me know down in the comments if you have seen any of these movies, if you think I would like any of them. If you are a horror movie fan like myself, make sure you go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. So if you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. I do upload every 3 to 4 days here. But as to the rest of you, I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys, and stay creepy. Bye!